I'm
welcome
Meg.
to episode 7.
And we're
Today
two
we're going to be
grandmas.
talking about our recent trip to Disneyland where we were celebrating Rob's birthday. Hi, welcome to the continuing adventures of Two Gray Mice. I'm Meg,
And I'm Rob.
and we are Two Gray Mice. Welcome, everybody. We had the privilege of spending a week in glorious Anaheim, California this past winter to celebrate Rob's birthday. It was his first trip to Disneyland. It was my third, but I don't really count my first because I don't really remember it very well.
So then it would actually be your second trip.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
One thing I remember about my first trip is my cousins and my sister explaining to me that the e-tickets weren't very good and I should give all my e-tickets to them.
We'll explain more about the e-tickets later on.
I think a lot of people know what e-tickets are, though.
But yeah, as we were wandering around the park and around the resorts and stuff, it was a touch of nostalgia that we saw just about everywhere,
Yes.
where they had the old e-ticket signs up on the walls.
Yeah. E-tickets. Anyway. So I planned the trip to celebrate the birthday, and Disneyland is very different. Disneyland Resort is very different from Walt Disney World in the sense that it is smack dab in what is now a city. When it was built, it was a large orange field, and Walt started building the park, and people realized very quickly that it might be successful, so they started buying the plots of land around him, which is why Disneyland has problems expanding, but also why most of the hotels are not Disney hotels. There are 3 Disney hotels and only 3 Disney hotels: Pixar Place, the Disneyland Hotel, and the Grand Californian. We visited all 3 to explore them, but we stayed at the Hilton Garden Inn Anaheim Resort.
That is a mouthful. It was a lovely place. Can't say enough about the staff. The staff was fantastic. The room was very clean and comfortable. And it literally was a 10-minute walk to the gates.
Yeah.
And we found that to be refreshing, both on our way to the park and a little relaxing on our way out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, there were some days out of the park I was like, wow, I wish there was a bus. But for the most part, yeah, it was, it's a 10-minute walk and, you're walking on city streets and you're going to run into all the city people along with, first thing in the morning, the other thousands of people that are coming from their individual resorts heading in. There are buses. At the city of Anaheim does have buses that run to all the resorts into Disneyland. But the last time I stayed about 5 minutes farther up the road and never took the bus.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Just walk.
Yeah. There's very few resorts along that strip I really feel that you need to take a bus for. And they're all wonderful. But we had a great time. The bed was very comfy. It was a nice king-size bed.
Well, I could see maybe in the summertime taking the bus for the air conditioning. I mean, we went, it was kind of cool out.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there was that one day it was raining where it would have been nice to have a bit of cover on the way.
True.
But
True.
yeah, I found it to be a very nice hotel. Good bang for the buck, as we'll come to discuss later in this podcast. The Disney hotels are gorgeous and expensive.
And this, didn't have theming. It's a Hilton Garden Inn. There's, some pictures of Disney characters on the walls. In the lobby, I think they were always playing a Disney movie.
Always. A lot of Disney theme throughout.
Yep. But nothing over the top.
Right.
The pool was wonderful because I went in the pool, and the hot tub was wonderful because I went into the hot tub.
They had that
on our day off.
There was that really, really nice bronze
of
Mickey out front. That
right.
was
nice. Very nice. The bar was nice. We hit the bar the first day we were there because, of course, we got there before our room was ready. And they had munchies and some food for the bar and a little restaurant that you could eat dinner there.
Yeah. Had a little cocktail hour late afternoon every day. The thing that I loved the most about the place was the breakfast.
Yeah.
And again, the staff every morning, smiles and good mornings, and really liked it.
And by the end of the week, got to know us and said hello and had conversations with us. At the moment, and it was the case then too, if you book your Good Neighbor Hotel through the Disney website and through Disney, one, it's a little less expensive because you get a discount on the tickets, but you also get free breakfast, which was a very nice bonus.
Nothing like a free breakfast to start off
the day. Yep. That's exactly what I think too. Mm-hmm. So it was wonderful. I really can't recommend it more. I mean, it's, nothing over fancy, nothing that's going to blow your mind. No water parks and stuff like that some of the other hotels have nearby. But since we don't have small children, that was unnecessary for us.
Mm-hmm. And then let's not forget the fact that the hotel was 10 minutes away from the front gate.
Right.
Made nap time still a possibility.
Oh, yeah. I think we went back to the hotel almost every day.
Where we needed a little recharge.
A little recharge. So it was easy to bounce back. In many ways, it was actually from the main gate of Disneyland Park to Disneyland Hotel was farther than it would have been for us to walk back to our hotel because we had to go all the way through downtown Disney.
If you say so.
Anyway, so that was our hotel. It was wonderful. We had a great time. We bounced around a lot. The big difference between Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World is the fact that, of course, there's 2 parks versus 4 parks. The amount of land Disneyland takes up is considerably less, but the most important aspect of it is they actually are directly facing each other across a promenade.
Yeah, they're right next door to each other.
So park hoppers are a necessity. In my mind, you don't want to, you can't just do one park at a time, but if that park you're in is too busy, it takes literally 10 minutes to walk to the other park and try that one out. So we're kind of got to go through each park in itself because every day we bounced back and forth from one park to the next.
Yeah. And planning the trip and getting set to go down there, we had our priorities of the things we wanted to do and the things that we wanted to see. I found it very convenient with the parks being right next door to each other. And the Disney app that we could keep tabs on ride times on a couple of rides that we wanted to see and go back and forth between the different shows to kind of catch everything that we talked about catching before we went down there. I just felt it was a really nice way of maximizing our time yet not stressing out about it at the same time.
Yeah, completely. And if you're going at a busier time of year, Disneyland Resort does have lightning lanes just like Disney World does, but they still work in the old Genie Plus manner. In other words, you have to buy them that morning, but you can't make your first pick of a ride until you're in the park itself. So what I recommend to my clients and what we did was the day before that night, we would look at the resort times or what we were experiencing during the day. And if the ride times were where we didn't mind dealing with them or could deal with them, we didn't buy it.
Yeah, I think so. We've indicated this in previous podcasts. I sort of draw the line at like 45 minutes to an hour. I'm not going to stand on a line for more than an hour for a ride unless it's a ride I really, really want to do, or there's theming attached to that ride that I really want to see. And yeah, the time of year we went down there, the wait times were very, very manageable. I don't think we ever waited more than an hour for anything while we were down there.
No, and actually, I'm trying to remember, but the only thing I think we did buy is I think I bought the lightning lane for the individual ride of Radiator Springs.
Yeah, that was...
Because it's always a long line.
Right. I think that was the only one that we did.
Yeah.
That was so worth it.
That was so worth it.
Worth
it. And the other joy of a park hopper is if you do get lightning lanes, you can pick your first ride in Disneyland, your second ride in DCA, or whatever the case may be, and use it throughout both parks. If you're in slightly busier time, it's totally worth it.
So the first night we got down there, we went to go visit downtown Disney. I noticed that they had a Ballast Point brew house there. Oh, so let's go and try that out. The food was okay. I don't have anything bad to say about the food. It was an interesting place. It was much less than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
There was the outdoor patio, but the outdoor patio was not open. But there's no downstairs. You go upstairs, and then you're just in this really big series of rooms. I don't know. I expected a little more from the photographs.
Yeah, I think we expect a little more. And also, it is an independent brewing company that is native to California. I think we also thought it was a brew pub in the sense that it was being brewed there.
Right, that they were doing the beer there. And they certainly had the decorations to make you think, but I don't think they were actually doing any brewing there.
No.
So like I said, the tiny bit of a downer, but I had the Ballast Point burger. That was awesome. It was a great burger. The service was good. But like I said, it wasn't like I didn't think it lived up to the pre-trip hype.
Right. But we're also, I mean, we were tired. We just come off a plane from New York. But it was an enjoyable evening. And we
wandered.
We wandered. And that was the first night I think we realized the one mistake we really kind of made in packing. It was January in New York, so it's January in California, and January in California, actually, it was below average the entire time we were there, the temperature.
Yeah, we actually had one morning where it was below 50 degrees. So I did get the Disneyland sweatshirt I always wanted.
Yes, because it was required to.
Which I've worn very frequently and proudly since. But yeah, it was a little bit on the chilly side. And then the other weird thing was, you would dress for the morning, but you would only be cold for like the first hour. And then the layers would start coming off because the sun would come up and the temperatures would get up into the 80s. I think when we were there, they were getting up into the 80s. So that temperature swing was
right. And then the moment the sun went down, it dropped like a stone.
Oh yeah, like a stone again.
So it was interesting. That was our biggest challenge in the visit was our own personal temperature control.
Right. So if you're familiar with Disney Springs in Orlando, downtown Disney has the same flavor, but much smaller footprint. Many choke points throughout, wandering back and forth. Beautiful. Very lush. There's also, the main transportation hub for the park is just adjacent to downtown Disney, and you can get access to the other hotels through downtown Disney. Nice shops, a nice place. But I thought, being more familiar with Disney Springs, it was smaller and very cramped.
Yes, yeah, it is, and it had just recently kind of reopened. There's several new restaurants throughout Disney Springs, and when I had been there a year and a half earlier, Disney Springs, downtown Disney was more construction wall than anything else. So I was excited to see how uncramped it was, yet still feeling very small.
I do remember. So the one thing I do remember, which I thought was very neat about downtown Disney, and I forget exactly what part of the area it's in, but they have this large triangular shaped area that looks like it's grass, and it's not grass. It's like an imitation grass, like an upper level, but an upper level AstroTurf. But the way it was created was so much fun. There were all these places where you could sit down underneath trees. There were those rolling hills that the kids were having an absolute ball on.
Right. There was that quick service restaurant right there that had the outdoor tables.
That had the outdoor tables.
You could get something to eat, and then the kids could play in this area.
Yeah,
and the bandstand was right there too.
The bandstand was right there, and that's a very nice area, and a little bit on the open side.
Right. Yeah, we enjoyed that. That was closer to the Disneyland Hotel itself and outside of the Marvel store.
Yeah, the Marvel store.
And I believe it was a Chinese quick service right there, but I'm not positive. But yeah, that was very enjoyable, and I really liked that. They have some same kind of things. So there's a Splitsville. There's a Star Wars store and a pin trading area. There's the World of Disney. There was a Disney Home store. There wasn't as much other stores, though I think there was a Sephora and things like that.
Yeah, it's not like that one stretch at Disney Springs where it's nothing but
high class
national retailers.
Chains. Yeah. So it's much smaller, but some great restaurants.
Oh, some amazing restaurants.
And and several of them we, had not made reservations. We were kind of flying by the seat of our pants a little bit that way, that we couldn't get into, or our timing was off, or whatever the case may be, that are definitely on the list of places to try when we go back.
Yeah. Yeah. But, everywhere we looked, people were enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
That's
what matters.
That's what matters.
Yeah. So, we wandered through Disney's downtown Disney. I want to keep trying to call it Disney Springs. Several times throughout our stay
Disney
there.
Springs,
Whether it was
downtown.
coming back and forth from the Disney hotels into the parks, or shopping at the World of Disney. Just one must shop.
And I will say that there were a couple of days when we were in the parks where we decided just to break out of the park and go to some place in downtown Disney. That was convenient. Again, another option, another way to break up the day and experience a little something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So we started our trip in Disneyland Resort itself, the Disneyland Park itself, because if you're going to bring someone to Disneyland for the first time, well, so you're going to start. We had arranged for both parks, all the parks have tours, specialized tours, from everything from exploring the savannah to what we did was, and now I can't remember the name of the tour, and right now they're not running it, so I couldn't even look it up.
It's the Disney Main Street Tour.
The Disney Main Street Tour. I think we actually have buttons, which is probably how you remember that. That I arranged, that Robert asked for, and I arranged for us to do at like 10 o'clock our first morning in the parks.
Yeah, so it's usually a small group under 10. It's your group and a docent. As we came to find out during the course of the tour, this particular cast member had been with the park for 13 years, had gone through a bunch of different areas in the park, working their way up to this particular position. You'd never know it. You'd think that this cast member had been doing this for the better part of a decade, when they were in their second month.
Doing this tour.
Third month, yeah.
Yeah.
Just an incredible range of knowledge, not only about the various aspects of the tour, but about the park and the park operations itself. We found them to be great, fantastic. The tour takes you through downtown, Main Street, in and around. It culminates at Walt's apartment over the fire station, and just to be up there and to see the apartment, I think was definitely worth the price of the tour.
Oh, completely and totally. And I mean, and she walks down Main Street and she explains all the windows that are above and why they're there, and whose is whose, why there's always a light on here, what's going on over there. Very interesting. Walt's apartment, tiny, how they both slept, or everything is for the most part museum quality, and the way it was when he passed. A lot of it left, of course, because Lillian wanted some of it. Lots of photos of Walt and Lillian and their grandchildren, because the grandkids would stay with them. I'm not sure where.
Interesting stories.
Yeah.
And just, a lot of, like, it's the stuff that you don't necessarily see and read about. That was one of the big reasons for taking the tour. I mean, we had read a number of reviews online before committing to it. And while some people didn't have an incredibly enjoyable time on the tour, everybody seemed to like it, and everybody thought it was fun and informative. And again, Disney does a great job of matching their experiences with qualified cast members, so that you really feel like you're getting the value for your money, and you're getting a memorable lifetime experience.
And what we did find is, if anybody knows about VIP tours and how and not only expensive they are, but how much knowledge that tour guide needs to have, what we found out is that she was a VIP tour guide, and she still did that. But she had to do that and go through that training before she was qualified to do this one. So this was above and beyond what most people consider the best tour guides you had to be for this tour. And it was great. And it ended with the beverage of our choice, non-alcoholic, water, soda, whatever. And this great, 8x5 cookie. It was huge. Frosted cookie.
And it's maybe 4x4.
Okay. That said Main Street Tour on it. Yeah. But it was fun. It was a
shortbread
great way
cookie.
of starting.
Big shortbread cookie.
Yeah, it was a great way of starting. Rob, we walked into the park. We come in through the train station. We come around
so
the corner.
everything kind of looks the same way as it does when you come into Disneyland down in Orlando, the Magic Kingdom. I mean, in Orlando. And, you go underneath the tracks, you see the train station, that round square is pretty much identical to the way it is at the Magic Kingdom. And then you turn the corner of Main Street and you look down towards the castle, and the first words out of my mouth was, "Oh my God, it's so tiny." It really is compared to Cinderella's castle at the Magic Kingdom. It's a dwarf. Very, very nicely done. Very well done. But, and then, the other thing that we were joking about the entire time we were wandering through the park, and Megan said this to me before we went down. She's like, you're going to be in a part of the park and you're going to think you know exactly where you are, and you have no idea where you are. And it is the truth, because there are a lot of similarities between the overall design of the parks, and you think you're making a right and you're going down the path here and you're wandering off in the Frontierland, and oh, no, that's not Frontierland.
No, all of a sudden you're in Star Wars. You're like, how the heck did I get here?
I took a wrong turn.
Yeah, because, I mean, the layout is very, very similar. You have the hub and spokes. You walk in, you got the Flag Plaza. You walk down Main Street, you got a tiny castle, and you have the hub. You've got Tomorrowland off to your right. You've got basically Fantasyland in front of you. You've got Frontierland, a little catty corner off to your left. And then that hard left is going to take you into Adventureland. Or it's going to take you not into it. It's going to take you to Adventureland. But in between those two is not Liberty Plaza. It's New Orleans Square.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. I mean, it looks like downtown New Orleans.
I will say this. So that's an area that they did how many years ago now at this point?
It's 70 years old.
No. I'm saying Orleans Square, where Pirates of the Caribbean is.
It's 70 years old.
Okay. I thought that was one of the
add-ons.
Right.
Yeah. No, it was
so much more. Yeah, so much more interesting, both visually and in its layout, I think, than the Magic Kingdom's area.
Oh, completely.
Just enchanting.
Yeah. And in many ways, Pirates of the Caribbean fits there better.
It does. I really think it does.
And I mean, I love the Haunted Mansion. I mean, I love our Haunted Mansion. And we're East Coasters, sorry, the big brown building, but the old plantation-esque building that is the haunted house in Disneyland is just so interesting looking.
Very, very, very much so. Just, I think, more visually attractive than the one at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, very much so. And they just redid the whole grounds and everything of that when I was there last, when they turned, I can't remember what restaurant, into Tiana's Palace. But, and then, of course, Tiana's fits better down there too, because Swinkies, it's New Orleans.
Yeah.
So it was great. While we were there, we had to try the beignets, so we did, and they were good.
Beignets were very good.
They were very good. Worth it. I think the beignets is the only traditional, you have to get Disneyland snack we tried while we were there. We never got a churro.
We never got a churro.
No, but you're not a big churro person.
No, I'm not, for whatever reason.
We never really, while we were in Disneyland Park. Well, we did eat, but we never ate in Disneyland Park. We never did a sit down in Disneyland Park. We never did a quick service besides Olga's in Disneyland Park.
That's correct.
And I think it was nothing really nothing really jumped up and down and said, you have to try this. And just timing. Even when we decided we were hungry at points in time, the one night we couldn't find anything that was open. Things were closing an hour or so before the park closed, we ended up going over to Grand Californian and getting something to eat. The biggest disappointments we had in Disneyland Park itself was I didn't realize that several things were not going to be open.
Yeah, that was, well, and that's been the case. I think our last 4 trips, either to Disneyland or Disney World, there's been something that I've really wanted to do that is closed for whatever reason. We've never had that perfect storm of everything being open all at the same time. It's like all I wanted to do when we were talking about going to Disneyland was ride the monorail at Disneyland.
It was closed.
It was closed.
And then you were like, it's okay. I'll ride the train. My husband is a model trainer, loves trains.
I love trains.
The last several times, because of Tron, the train at Magic Kingdom has not been working. And along with the monorail, the train was also not working.
Yeah, so it was just like...
And then also, It's a Small World, which of course is very, very different than Orlando's It's a Small World.
Yeah, and I was really looking forward to going on that one.
Yeah.
And that was closed for they were doing it up for the
70th
for the celebration. Yeah. The thing I really did enjoy about the park was all the rides that they have there that they don't have at the Magic Kingdom. And we read some reviews that a couple of people thought the rides were hokey. I think what they were referring to are the ride mechanisms themselves, very basic and very much the same way that they were done, when they first debuted at the park. But that to me was a very interesting aspect of the experience, just to see that difference, both in the technology and in the theming, and some of those rides were really fun. They were cool.
Yeah, I mean, like Perfect Storm. I can't remember what was happening in the park, but all of a sudden, Fantasyland had very, very short lines. Like Peter Pan were online for 20 minutes.
It wasn't even 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was. We were on and off, so we just bounced.
I'm a sucker for Peter Pan.
So we started with Peter Pan, and then we proceeded to bounce to every original dark ride we could.
Yeah.
So we did
very quick.
Peter Pan, Snow White's Adventure,
Mr. Toad's Wild
Ride, Storybook Boats, all those rides over there. And we had just a great time because we don't have them anymore. Mr. Toad's is now Winnie the Pooh for us. We never had Snow White. I don't think we did Pinocchio. If we did, I can't remember it.
Yeah, we did.
No, we
Pinocchio.
did Pinocchio.
Yeah.
So it was just fun to see these rides that we don't have anymore in Orlando. We don't have half as many dark rides.
Yeah, and it was a great kitty kind of moment.
Yeah, and we had just a great time. And of course, we got the looks, but whatever.
Yeah, we get looks wherever we go.
Yeah.
Hey, they look like they're enjoying themselves on this kids ride.
Yeah, and
we kind of kind of am.
Kind of am. I loved Alice in Wonderland.
That was great.
That when it goes inside and outside, it's just a fun ride. And that was at dusk, so everything was starting to lighten up. And actually, the last one we did was Storybook Boats, which we did at night. And
again, I like all of the parks at night, but there was just something a little extra magical, I think, about Disneyland itself at night.
Especially back in Fantasyland, the way they the teacups, the way the teacups light up. Because there's no roof, there's just lanterns.
Lanterns, yeah, it's just a big canopy of lanterns. That was a very good evening.
That was a very good evening. And what also, when we were there, what we saw, something also we don't get in Orlando, and I would love to figure out how we could do this, and I don't know if it's just by exposure so people would stop being idiots, but in Disneyland, the characters just walk around.
Yeah.
And they're starting to do this a little bit in Orlando. Like, I recently have seen all the princesses on the carousel in Disney World at Magic Kingdom. And the evil stepsisters will walk around and just interact and not have set meet and greets. So it's not a time to really get your autograph made per se, but it's time to meet those characters. So when we were online for Alice in Wonderland, Alice and the Mad Hatter were on the teacups and interacting with all the people that were on the teacups.
Yeah, and
it's just different.
it is different because you're not waiting in line.
Right.
There's no like pre-established I don't know, expectation.
Right.
It's just a chance encounter.
Right.
And again, lends a lot of magic to the overall experience.
Right. And very often, because they'd just be walking around, I would watch these little kids come around a corner and see Mickey, Minnie, Clarabelle, and just
lose it.
Lose it and light up and run to this. And the cast member who is friends with this Mickey or whoever it is, would just be so open and so wonderful. And the only thing we have that I know that's like that is the stormtroopers in Star Wars, which are wonderful.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Which they also have here.
But yeah, that I found kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That was fun.
The other one that's very different in California, which I think most people know, is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It's longer. It has 2 drops.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him that.
Yeah. Well, no, I saw it on the video.
Yeah. So it starts out, in a swampy area. There's the Blue Bayou restaurant. So it's kind of like Mexico, if you are familiar with Orlando.
So if you were in Mexico at Epcot.
On the 3 whatever the 3.
Caballeros.
Thank you very much.
Coriander Springs.
This will be a constant theme throughout the podcast.
There's a lovely soundtrack going in the background, and you're sort of like wandering down this lazy channel in the bayou, and the restaurant's on the side there, and then you go into a dark hole, and there's your first drop.
Right, and then you start seeing the skeleton pirates, and it's not until you go on the Disneyland ride that you understand the first movie.
Yeah,
because they probably tweaked it a little bit after the movie was so successful too. Like everybody added the Johnny Depp character, but that whole section isn't in ours. So it made I'm like, how is this based on the ride? There's none of this is in the ride.
No, because it's in the movie.
But it's in the Disneyland ride.
Right. Well, we knew going in that.
Yeah.
That ride was different.
Haunted Mansion's different too, but not a lot different. The biggest difference is the stretching room is actually an elevator.
Really, truly is.
Because the reason why you go down twice in Pirates and you have to have an elevator in Haunted Mansion is that the railroad, they have to go under the railroad to get to the show buildings in both cases.
Right.
The Hatbox Ghost was in Haunted Mansion, which you hadn't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
So little changes, nothing huge in those cases. Galaxy's Edge fits somehow in Disneyland Park. And it's just because you kind of stumble on it, like, how'd I get here?
But even so, architecture is very similar. The theming is very similar, much smaller, a little tighter in terms of choke points. Not as much to see. Definitely the same vibe. We will say this. This was a recommendation that was made to us before we went down there. The evening fireworks show was just phenomenal watching it from Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, and we did that the first night. We hadn't seen it from the castle or anything. So
it was really cool.
It
was really cool.
Millennium Falcon area where you can see the Millennium Falcon and you're up higher and you're overlooking the Millennium Falcon. That faces the castle. You can't see the castle, but that's what it faces. So this hologram comes out and explains to you about the rebellion and the fights that have been happening and blah, blah, blah. And then Star Wars music kicks in and then the fireworks go off.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a secondary show attached to the first show that's around the castle, which is so I really thought was
right. So it's the same exact show.
It's the same show, but it's themed
right
for Galaxy's Edge. It was very, very, very cool.
Right. So cool. I don't know what Imagineer or what Disney Live Entertainment person came up with this.
Brilliant.
But brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And the music goes with it. And it was a wonderful way of ending our first night in the parks.
And so it's obvious that a lot of people have heard about this trick, So what I thought was really cool
it used to happen
about it.
only just every once in a while, and now I think it's happening all the time.
What I thought was really cool about it is we were standing up on this upper platform and we were looking down towards the Millennium Falcon. There were dozens and dozens of people down there with lightsabers.
Oh yeah. Oh no, because at the end they everybody with a lightsaber lights it up and hangs it. There's a cue. The hologram gave a cue to light your lightsaber up and hanging over your head.
It was just so much fun.
It was so much fun. It really was. The only other area that we do not have in any way, shape, or form is a very fun area. Mickey's Toon Town.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to
don't know how to explain it. A lot of hokey rides. There's
but a cartoon came to life.
Yeah.
It's the town
that
Mickey and Minnie live in the new cartoons come to life.
Yeah. And sure, it's a little people area. There's not a lot there for larger people to do except enjoy and all the shenanigans that the little people are doing. Big bonus in this area, and this was something I didn't see in anything we read before going down there. If you go all the way to the back of Mickey's Toon Town, there's sort of a little, it's not really a cave. It's kind of like a rock outcropping with seating.
Totally
inside.
shaded.
Totally
and a little
shaded.
cooler. They had a fan going too.
A lot cooler. A lot cooler. It was like a hidden oasis of relaxation. If you were just looking to get out from the crowds and get a little shade time, but yet not be inside a building.
And you could see the little play area from where you were sitting in that little cave. And a lot of the play areas and the cave had that fake grass with a cushion underneath it. Playgrounds have
Yeah,
these
it's like
days.
that foamy.
Yeah, so when the
stuff.
toddler wipes out, they aren't hurt.
Just embarrassed.
Or it's a toddler. They just pop up and they don't care. So it was fun to look at and explore. You go down from Small World, if I'm not mistaken, into this little like under the railroad, not functioning. And then up on the other side, you can't bring your strollers into the area. So it's a huge stroller parking in this tunnel area.
Yeah, and so it's another one of those areas. It's another one of those areas in a Disney park where we advise you, if you are going with little ones and you do have one of those wheeled devices that you're frequently bolting your little ones into, definitely personalize it. Even if you're renting one for the day, personalize it, because you got a bunch of cast members who are going around, and people, when they come and go to leave, they'll move 2 or 3 strollers so they can get to their particular stroller. Oh, but this creates a little strollers in the aisle. Oh no, we have to put those back in. So there's like 4 cast members whose sole purpose and job while they're there on the clock is to keep that aisle open. So it is very easy to not be able to find your stroller. It will most likely not be in the exact same spot it was when you left it there.
Right. So I always recommend to my clients
flags, bandanas,
ribbons,
twinkly lights.
Yeah, and then the battery operated twinkly lights for when the dusk hits. You put the twinkly lights on, and then you can find it. And also, if your child's of a certain age, they love the twinkly lights.
And this was the one thing that we saw the one night we were there, and I thought it was hilarious. And I never went online to look it up. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It's a light that's remote controlled. That you have a fob in your hand.
Oh, right.
Yeah, remember that couple?
Oh, yeah. So it was like,
and he's standing there. He's got his hand up in the air and he's pressing this thing, and I'm like, what is this dude doing? Look at that!
So it's like
brilliant.
When you can't find your car and you make it beep. It was the same thing, but it was a stroller and a light. It was absolutely priceless.
I was like, why didn't they have those when we had little ones?
I meant to look that up for my clients because it would make so much sense.
Yeah, so now when we hang up today, we have to
go look that up.
Go and look that up.
I love the fact you just hang up.
Get it on your page.
It's going to be. I have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But that was the big things that we did while we were there. I mean, ride wise, we didn't do Tiana's because it was always rainy or chilly. And neither one of us wanted, because you get wetter at the Disneyland one. So I did not really feel like being drenched. And we had not brought the appropriate poncho outfit things with us.
I forget the exact location of the walkway, but there's a walkway that goes around a portion of the ride. And
over by Winnie.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the boats come out and they sort of do a lazy 180 to head back towards the queue. And that's right after the drop.
Right. And you can see
So you
how
got to see
drenched.
exactly how wet everybody was. And there was never a single dry person in any of the cars we saw. So I guess if it had been warmer,
Yeah.
we may have attempted it because I've heard the theming is phenomenal.
Right. And well, and spoiler, when we go down in December, we will be riding it. We have to go on at this point. Yeah, we did go on the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh while we're there, which is a different ride than
the one that's
we have in
Walt
Critter
Disney
Country.
World. Yep.
Which I don't believe is Critter Country anymore. It's now more Bayou themed.
Mm-hmm.
Big Thunder Mountain is different.
Yep.
And what did my roller coaster fan think of Big Thunder Mountain?
I thought it was a little more exhilarating than the one down in Walt Disney World for whatever reason. The theming was so much better. The little town,
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it. There were two parts of it that I was just like, why am I here? But as we like to say, it's 90 seconds of terror, and then it's back to your daily anxiety, and everything's fine.
Right.
Just get it over with.
Yeah.
The ride you're going to bring that up the next time we're down in Orlando.
Well, it won't be open.
Well,
it's not. We're going to have to go back in the summertime or early spring. I know, it's shucky darn, because it's still closed, and we think that they're actually changing the theming to be a little bit more like Disneyland's with the dynamite explosions and everything else. The track layout will be the same, though they're putting a new physical track to make it a little smoother.
Yeah.
We also, while we were in Toon Town, we did do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway,
which was hilarious.
Which is great. It's a great ride.
That was
same
funny.
ride, but it's just fun.
Yeah,
but
and the theming, the queue was great.
The queue is totally different.
The queue is totally different. A lot of fun.
It's a museum of all the props from Mickey and Minnie's movies. So imagine watching, the Sorcerer's Apprentice or whatever, and they've taken his costume and they've physically made it and put it behind glass so that that's the display, like you were at the Smithsonian. And
right.
like it really existed to make the movie.
Yeah. And the thing was just drawn.
Right. But the whole concept of the museum is that it's there. Yeah.
And I forget what the one cartoon was with Goofy where he's manning the concession stand at the movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's like this little mini concession stand with all this trashed food. The spilled soda, the popcorn all over the place. That was a lot of fun.
And then the other one we did, because we are a massive fan of this particular IP movie. I almost said human. Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was just fun. But we love Roger Rabbit. Rabbit's great.
I'm just remembering now. So when you go through the very, very tiny Cinderella's castle, there's a walkway up and around and through the castle where they have all these
dioramas. Not really.
Yeah, they're not really a diorama. They're a little display, but
you go through the whole Sleeping Beauty story,
right? And I thought, it's very narrow. It's very dark. It's a little brooding, but again, something that doesn't exist down in Orlando,
no.
and something that, as far as I'm concerned, should.
Yeah,
it was incredibly enjoyable.
Right,
different.
So many moons ago, when they did New Fantasyland, they ripped 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea out, and they put in the Ariel, basically Little Mermaid ride down in Orlando. In Disneyland, they kept the subs and they made them Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
What did you think of the Finding Nemo submarine voyage?
I thought it was cool. I mean, I remember, going down.
Leagues.
Yeah, I remember going down to Walt Disney World and doing 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's same exact ride vehicle, same exact ride path. The theming was very interesting. The use of technology is interesting as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But again, if you don't like being in enclosed spaces with lots of other people,
And it's
maybe
actually the
not
only
your
ride I got motion sick on.
yeah, maybe
And I
not
don't know
your
if it's because of the lack of air and the heat and the claustrophobia. And you are moving just slightly.
right. And so here's the thing: it's a tracked ride. It's a tracked ride, but it's almost like the vessel itself is kind of floating within tethers and being sort of like. So there is that.
Dragged and pulled,
Yes,
not
there
as
is
much
that.
tracked.
There is that. Right. There is that gentle movement back and forth that makes it feel like you're actually on a vessel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the last ride from Disneyland that we do not have in Orlando is
Not now.
we had to try it twice because it broke down the first time.
It broke down. That's right.
Indiana Jones Adventure. This is the same ride vehicle and track system that is Dinosaur in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
which also will break down. But it has a lot more going on, I think, around the vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. I was marveling over some of the effects. The crown jewel is that incredibly large rolling ball.
Right, from the first movie.
Right, trying to block your escape. So well done.
Well, yeah, you think you're about to get rolled, like it's going to go over your head, something,
right,
and all of a sudden
between the effect and it's one of those things where it's not a projection, that this is a bona fide large object coming at you. Very well done. I thought it was a lot of fun. But yeah, the first time we got online, we found no joy.
Yeah, it broke down. But we got a special whammy lightning lane that got us right on it the next time when it finally back opened up again. And I'm looking forward to the one coming in Orlando, though I think they're going to theme it differently. It's going to be Indiana Jones. It's going to be South American themed. I think it's not going to be the same experience around it. I'm hoping the queue is as good. The queue is amazing in the one in California with everything else going on.
And I just want to take a moment to say that even though the first time we were waiting on the line, we found no joy. Disney once again prides itself on there never being a problem. Just it's another opportunity, and just by extending themselves to us in that way, as tiny as it was, by giving us access to the ride again once it came back up, by just being able to walk onto it. That's so much of what's made Disney as successful as they are.
Right.
And it's what makes trips down either to Disneyland this time around or Disney World like we've done in other times. It really makes a big difference. And I think I'm a mouse head at heart and a nerd geek as well. They make it so you feel comfortable, even if there's an uncomfortable situation. They'll do whatever it takes to make it right and to get you back on your way.
Yeah, and what it was we waited for a bit. We rope dropped it our very first day because we were not getting lightning lanes. So we rope dropped it, but we had the 10 a.m. tour. It broke down and we waited 20 minutes or so for it to come back up. And then we got to the point where we were concerned. So I asked a cast member, I'm like, do we have any sort of an ETA? Do we have any clue? And he's like, no, I don't. We aren't really sure. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 15 minutes.
And when we explained to him the time crunch that we had,
he was like, oh, no problem.
Went into bing, bing, bing mode.
Here, just take this and take off. You can't miss your tour. And that way you can come back and do it again later on. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. The last big thing we did at Disneyland Resort, or Disneyland Park, sorry, would be the fireworks from Main Street.
Yeah.
And we did these right and we did these wrong in the sense that we're used to Orlando. And now it was January and the parks were light, but there was still quite a few people there. And we wanted to have a good view to see these. I wanted to see Tinkerbell fly. I had never seen them before because the last time I was there, they didn't go. There are not fireworks every night. There's always a projection show on the castle. They'll do a small one on a Small World and then down Main Street, but there's not fireworks every night.
And that's basically because it's a theme park in the middle of a city.
Right.
So there's other extenuating circumstances going around the park, which generally you don't find out about until pretty much the very last minute.
Right. Well, I mean, they schedule them 2 weeks out, but they can cancel. They'll cancel them. The last time I was there, they canceled them 20 minutes before the show because the winds picked up.
Yeah.
And they can't have these embers, it's LA, flying around. And we were actually there right after the large fires. So we got it. We totally understood where they were coming from. And they had them basically the first day they were going to be there when we saw them from Star Wars, and the last day we were going to be there where we saw them from Main Street. And we were not missing these. So an hour before they were going to go off, we found a spot right by a garbage can to watch the fireworks from. And
why do you pick a spot right by a garbage can?
Because if you're standing the garbage can in front of you, no one can stand directly in front of you. And if you are not tall, like myself, you can't have too tall of a person standing directly in front of you. And so that kind of helps eliminate that issue. People don't line up as early as they do in Orlando and California. The way that cast members have things set up is a little more friendly, not friendly, or easier to deal with. And it's really just got to be a crowd situation.
Yeah, but they also do a lot of stanchions, and they do a lot of ropes, and you'll pick your spot, and then you'll realize that you're about to be cordoned off. That was,
But we could have come in a half an hour before.
Yeah,
not an hour.
Decent.
If we had done a half an hour before in Orlando, we would have been in Frontierland.
But I will say, if there's no fireworks show on that particular evening, worry not, because the projections and the lasers and the lighting was just awe-dropping.
And also on It's a Small World, because when I was there last time a year and a half ago, I saw them on a Small World.
Yeah.
Which is it's 3 times the size of the one in Orlando, and it's white with gold, so it just reflects the projections beautifully. Same thing, just awe-dropping, amazing. Music's great, just feels you all the good feels.
Yeah, they have all these collapsible towers that are on top of the buildings up and down Main Street. And right before the show, and it's almost like they do it so slowly, you don't even realize it's happening. They just pop up into place, and then the show begins. Between the music and all the lighting and the technical effects, I thought it was a fantastic show.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was when we got our one meal in Disneyland Resort. We went to the refreshment corner, which in Orlando is basically Casey's. And we got 2 very good, delicious beef hot dogs.
Oh, they were great hot dogs.
Yeah, and chips. Yeah, those were good hot dogs.
Those were yummy.
Yeah.
That was our meal in the park.
Yeah. Now, we had 4 days of park tickets, right?
Yep.
Which in many ways was 1 day too many. I would recommend 3.
Yeah, because both parks are small, and it all depends. I mean,
and you can bounce back and forth easy.
I would imagine that if you were there with kids,
yeah,
4 days would probably be perfect. Because there is so much to do, and the kids are not just gonna go in and leave. They're gonna dwell for a little bit. So I think 4 days, if you had kids, is perfect. 3 days for us would have been better than the 4, I think.
Right. We were pretty done. And we went into the parks the 4th day, and we looked around and we saw things, but we didn't spend a lot of time in the park that day.
No, and we went back just to almost like double look
at some things,
a couple of things,
and to do the fireworks that night.
Right.
Yeah. It's like we had no reason to go into DCA, but I'm like, let's just walk through anyway, just to see what we've missed anything. So, folks, I think that's it for the day.
I hope so. Well, so this is Rob.
And I'm Meg.
And we're two gray mice.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And for all your travel needs, please reach out to Meg, megandthemouse.com. Have a magical week.